Hello and welcome to a new series with CzarPeppers. Sorry I've been away for the past week. I haven't been feeling very well, but now we're getting back to action and we're playing some Hearts of Iron 4. This is a game I've been trying to figure out for a long time now, and I think finally some miracle touched me, and now I finally understand the extremely convoluted and complex UI. So, we're going to do something interesting, and we are going to be dun 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 Poland. Alright, so it looks like our situation is we've got about 40 divisions across the country. Now, I think the tactic I'm going to do is to try and align myself to the Soviet Union against Germany, because that's the only chance I have. If this takes the same course as reality, then I'm going to be invaded on both sides. So we've got to make some tough decisions. At the moment, it's June or January of 1936. Germany isn't quite as powerful. Sorry about that. As it will become in 1939. So ideally, we want to be starting a conflict with them sooner rather than later, and with as many allies as possible. Alright, first we gotta get some research going. First I want to focus on my industrial capacity. Production efficiency is going to be what I'm going to want to go for. Second, we will do construction 1. I would like to do all construction, that kind of thing, but we do really need to work on upgrading some of our military equipment. And one of the first things I'm going to focus on, I believe, is getting ourselves some light tanks, because right now we only have World War I French Renault FTs, I believe. So we require that. Next is probably going to be our trade. Let's check production. We are lacking aluminium and rubber. So those are the two things we need to get, aluminium and rubber. Let's start with aluminium. I've been watching way too much British TV, I guess. We're going to try and get it from the Soviets, because they're a close source. And okay, 8 for 1 civilian factory, that's not bad. So we don't have to, if war breaks out, we wouldn't have to worry about them or losing our aluminum supply. For rubber was the other one, right? Yes. Rubber. The UK problem problem with the UK is our supply lines could get cut off. Where would be a good place? I guess we don't really have that much choice. The Netherlands, what about India? Do we? No, we don't really have any good. So I guess we're gonna have to go with the UK, and hopefully we can keep our convoys protected. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do, because we have to. Okay, 8 for 1 civilian factory. Perfect. And oh, geez. Of course, our convoys have to go through that canal. Oh well, I guess that's something we'll have to deal with when we get there. Okay, construction. Let's get some civilian factories going. Preferably ones away from the German border. Yeah, that should do for now. Actually, let's do 1, 2 there, and 1, 2 there. Other than that, what are our fortifications like on the border? Not very good. And that's something we're definitely going to want to improve. We'll put 1 there. Oh, we already have 1 there. Well, we'll do 2. 1 up here. 1 up here. And 1... Yeah, we'll start out with that for now. How many we've got 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 airfields, 7 airfields. That should be okay for now. Production and So at the moment, we've got infantry, mountain, special forces infantry, and cavalry. I will start training some infantry divisions, who we will focus just to the south of Warsaw. And we will, oops, no, didn't want to do that. We will add 4 units, 4 in parallel. So what are we going to need for that? We need infantry equipment, support equipment, production, infantry equipment. Okay, we've got both of those at the moment. How many can we do? And I don't really want to build too much of these interwar fighters. I'd rather wait till we have some that are a bit more, you know, man, I'm blanking today, current. So right now I'm just going to focus on infantry equipment and support equipment. Tanks, I'm not going to because I don't have enough of the army experience to modify any of my divisions. But now we have to do some more trading. What we need are steel, rubber, and more aluminum. Or aluminium, or however you want to say it. I suppose I'm Commonwealth, so I should say aluminium. Okay. First, steel. Steel is steel. Gotta get steel. From the Russians. Because they're way more convenient than anybody else. Then we need aluminium, which we will get from them as well. Yep. And more rubber. Thankfully, we're okay on oil for the moment. Whoops. Rubber. Let's do France. Just cuz. Just cuz. Okay, that should be all right. We've got free dockyards. Do we even have any kind of navy? Okay, we've got a small submarine force and a few destroyers. Now, there's no way we're going to be able to build up any serious navy, so I think I'm going to focus on smaller vessels, destroyers, submarines, and maybe some cruisers later on, depending on how things go. So we've got some free dockyards, so we may as well start making some. Actually, convoys is going to be important. And let's do submarines for now. Although we don't have enough, we only have enough for making convoys at the moment, so we'll focus on that. National focus set. We're going to go with political effort, so when that's done, we can get some, let's call it political power. And we should be able to start it up now and hopefully get things going. Okay, so we've got political effort complete. Now we're going to focus on going to industrial effort now, and we will use our political power to hire an advisor. And I believe we'll go with, of course, the communist revolutionary, because that'll help us not get absolutely destroyed by this particular massive country to the east of me. And how's our research like? We got 65 days on basic machine tools, 100 on construction, and 110 on modern light tanks, or at least modern as of 1936-ish. Kinda modern, I guess. Recruitment going decently. I really wish I could get production up on infantry equipment and support equipment, but that will have to wait until we get more factories. And at the moment, I'm mainly focusing on building civilian factories. After that, we will focus on building some more military factories. I think I may as well put those in right now. And we will mainly put them in the east. I can't. Well, we'll put 1 there, 4 there, and 2 here for now. Breaking news: Italy has invaded Ethiopia. and seized a lot of equipment. So things are starting to get a bit. They're beginning. It begins. I believe that, yeah, here, Ethiopia, taken by the Italians in 1936, which is one of the first sort of actions of the second. Well, not really. I don't. What am I talking about? Got 25 days left on basic machining tools. That should. What was that again? That's production efficiency. Yeah, that'll be good. I don't really, at this point, I want to focus more on industrial capacity rather than upgrading military equipment, although that is going to be something that I definitely need to do, because I need, in particular, new tanks and new aircraft to be able to go up against the Luftwaffe, or at least stand some kind of chance against them. Okay, so we've got some more political power, and I kind of want to use it to appoint someone. Okay, we've got Edward, who 10% offensive attack, I believe. And this guy's defense. I don't really want to do defensive. Seems like everybody who went for defensive in the Second World War ended up getting kind of screwed. I'm not going to do a Navy, maybe Air Force, and High Command. Nothing really. I think maybe a tank designer would be a good idea. Got minus 10% research time, minus or plus 5% reliability. How about aircraft? Light Air Company. Actually, aircraft this may be a good way to go. Medium Air Company. Reliability, light aircraft, agility, max speed, plus 10% agility. I may do that one. What else? What are our other options? Theorists? Nah, I'm not. No. Industrial concerns. Now, I don't know if you can hear it, but my graphics card, my really, really expensive graphics card is acting up. I think one of the fan bearings is gone, so it's always likes to go up on crazy high speed for whatever reason. I think industrial research would probably be the smartest choice for me right now. So that is what I'm going to do. Yes, industrial research. And we are almost done basic machining tools. Okay, we've got basic machining tools done. So now we will go on to concentrated industry 1. I believe that would be a smart way to go. So for the next year or two at least, I'm going to keep 2 of my research slots based on industrial and production, and 1 on upgrading military equipment for now. Then once we get closer to 39, we'll maybe do 1 on industrial and 2 on upgrading military equipment. Now, I think what I want to do now is set up my divisions. So I think this, and this will be our first army. Commander, we've got Field Marshal. I should have pronounced, or been a country I can pronounce. Own combat width, no. Thorough planner, max planning. The defensive doctrine. Panzer leader, armor speed. Reconnaissance plus 25%. You know, that might be a good one. I think I'm going to go with him for the first army, because reconnaissance will be important. And then these guys can be the second army, led by... I want an offensive guy. Somebody who's going to be good on the offensive. I think we'll go with this guy. General Wacław Anders. Man, that's a weird name combination. We've got impossible to pronounce. That's relatively not impossible to pronounce. All right, so our 2 armies are set up. We're going to choose the colors. This guy can be red, because he's more of an offensive guy, and that seems to make sense to me. And you are reconnaissance, so let's do you blue. I don't know what blue has to do with reconnaissance, but for some reason it's the first thing that came to mind when it came. What? And we have industrial effort done. Let's go. Next. Construction effort's probably a good... Yeah, let's do construction effort. Because we've got a lot of different construction projects at the moment. And only 5 civilian factories to accommodate them. Thankfully, after this one's done, we'll have another 2. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 civilian factories under construction. Plus some new fortifications, and then later on, some military facilities. Woohoo! Construction 1 is done. Now on to... Maybe I should use synthetic oil. No. Yeah, this one. Construction speed. I definitely need better construction speed. How is our recruitment going? We've got... Oh, actually, we have pretty good manpower. That's not bad, but we certainly could use more equipment. Not enough equipment to train, so these guys can't train yet. They're still building up equipment. Manpower is good. It's just infantry equipment and support equipment they need. Mainly, they don't need much support equipment. Maybe what I should do is decrease the support equipment, and we will increase infantry equipment like so. And hopefully that'll bring in... Get this recruiting up. Soon I want to get them on maneuvers or whatever, the practice, so we can get some army experience, because I'm going to want to make new divisions with armor rather than having all this cavalry, which isn't really going to be that useful against a highly industrialized army like Germany. Oh, my GPU fans are not sounding very good right now. I sure hope they don't explode or something. And they're only going at 11%. Oh well. Light tank research. Yay. Okay, so we've got light tanks. I think next I'm going to... We need some better fighter aircraft, so we're going to go with this one. We desperately need new fighters so we can begin replacing our obsolete forces at these various airfields. How much do we have? Okay, we've got 22 of these. What are these? Like pylon floating planes? Oh no, bombers. Yeah, dive bombers, attack bombers, whatever. 162 fighters, 0 torpedo, heavy fighter. Yeah, Air Force is going to be one of my primary focus points on this. Now to start increasing our army experience, we're going to start some exercises. This will use some more equipment, but hopefully we'll start getting some experience, and I'll be able to then start adding tanks to the mix, which I should probably get in production. Yeah, okay. Light tank. I'm going to get rid of the interwar fighter, and we will start producing light tanks. Okay, produce, make it go. Okay. Construction effort complete now. These opening stages of this probably aren't that interesting, but having a good base on which to spring forth onto the world stage is important. So this bits may be a bit boring, but they are important. I think we're going to go with armament effort because we really need some more military production. Because I really want to start getting tanks in reserve and lots of infantry equipment. How are our deployment efforts? Yeah, still the main thing is infantry equipment. How much are we producing? 39 a day, so... Okay, it'll take a while, but time solves all things or something. I don't know. Well, since things are well underway, I think it's time to start doing some diplomacy. Let's take a look at Spain. They currently have the Spanish Civil War is eventually going to start, and I want to get on their good side. But for now, let's maybe do a little. Let's improve relations to the east. Whom else should I improve relations with? We already probably have alliances with France and Britain, more or less, or maybe not. But yeah, let's spend on improving our relations with Great Britannia. Sweden might be another good one, too. I mean, they've got iron, they've got... We'll wait for that. Oh. The Olympic Games have begun. The 11th Olympic Games were recently held in Berlin, Germany, attended by athletes from 49... Man, that's not very many nations for an Olympic Games, but I guess it was a while ago. Nations across the world. The 1936 Summer Olympics are the first in history to have enjoyed limited live television coverage. The Games were a significant propaganda victory for the German regime, which spent lavishly on the event. German athletes saw the most success, winning 33 gold medals, while the Americans came in second with 24. 4 of these were won by Jesse Owens, the single most successful athlete of the Games. The Games are concluded. Interesting stuff. Yeah, I'm thinking that infrastructure might be another thing that we should focus. What is infrastructure like? Now, we've got pretty good infrastructure going, but possibly we should get a bit more in the... We've already got so much on the construction plate right now. I think we're just going to leave that for now and come to it later on. I really wish we could get some faster construction efforts going, though. Fortunately, we gave, a lot of our factories over to trading for getting our various resources. So those factories are being used by others. And it looks like we only have 5 that are working on this project at the moment. Okay, we've got some political power to work with. So I think we're going to appoint a chief of army, and we're going to do a guy with army offense. Wondering what I should do with conscript. We've got lots of manpower, though. We've got like 120,000. So I don't think I need to do limited conscription anytime soon. My eyelid, I don't know if you guys have had it, but my eyelid is twitching like crazy today. It's getting kind of annoying. Just twitch, 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 twitch. Armament effort and construction 2 are done. Research. So, in engineering, we should do the electronic mechanical engineering. And we also need a national focus thing. Aviation effort. Let's do army effort so we can get that increased experience, which we very much need so we can start setting up tanks. How is our production for tanks? I got 1 tank a week. That's really not that brilliant, is it? Well, it's what we have and it's what we'll work with. Oh, things are getting red. Class conflicts defied Poland. The communist revolutionary movement, once a fringe, popular among radicals, academics in theory and troublemakers in practice. Man, the inflection on that sentence didn't quite work. Has seen increased support among the Polish working class. The fact that even more people choose to identify themselves with a class at all implies that Marxist ideas are spreading beyond those who actively seek to overthrow the government. BBWR members lament this development, longing for a time when Polish was what people identified as first and foremost. Their concerns are not unfounded. It could be argued that a revolution is already underway, occurring on several levels of society, and it may be too late to stop it. The people may call themselves whatever they want. Okay, so another one of our industrial research things was done. I believe it was construction 2. So now I believe I'm just going to take a different course for a moment and research the air supremacy doctrine. And then we'll go back to focusing on our industrial efforts. Recruitment is still slow, but it's going on. We are slowly getting army. Man, I sound like this whole video. I just sound like I'm having a stroke half the time, don't I? We're slowly getting army experience because I really want to add those tanks. Curious as to how much it's going to... Oh, no, we can do armored divisions now. Yes. What do our armored divisions look like? We've got some light tanks, some infantry. Yeah, we'll train some of these because we need tanks. I'll do them right here. Oh, it's just I don't want to do the same places, just next door. Don't know what the difference is. We'll do 2 units in like that. Yeah. Okay. What? Okay, the Spanish Civil War has begun. A civil war has erupted in Spain. Several generals seeking to overthrow the current government in Madrid have issued a proclamation, or whatever proclamation sounds like in Spanish, and a large portion of the Spanish armed forces have answered the call to arms. The right-wing nationalist faction has occupied much of Spain, including the overseas territories. Loyalists, forces, and volunteers have assembled under the left-wing Republican government, determined to resist the putsch to their last breath. The battle for Spain has begun. And because this is would be a great opportunity to get some army experience, let's see if we can... I'm going to improve relations because I want to send some volunteer forces. That's a great way to increase my army experience. So hopefully we'll be able to do that relatively soon. And then we'll get some action going, eh? More breaking news. The remilitarization of the Rhineland. Germany has stationed troops in the Rhineland territory close to the French border in clear violation to the Treaty of Versailles. The local population cheered the German soldiers on, while the diplomatic reactions from the French and the British have so far been muted. It is no more than the Germans walking into their own backyard, a political commentator said in Britain. Observed. Man, today. Yeah, worrying. Oh, army effort. Okay, that's good. Okay, we got more leadership purges in the Soviet Union. Uncertainty. Okay, Stalin's killing a bunch of people. That's essentially what the summary of this is going to be. What was I doing? Oh, right. Select national focus. I don't think I'm going to focus on political right now. We need equipment effort. That might help. Motorization. I would like motorization. That's what my tactic for this is going to be all about. Mobility and trying to avoid just entrenched defenses, because that never seemed to work very well in the Second World War. So we're going to focus on mobility, have a smaller amount of highly trained troops that can quickly move to locations where they're needed, rather than having just a giant army all the way across the front line. Because I don't think as Poland we could really even do that. Our resources and production power aren't exactly brilliant. So we're going to focus on strong, fast divisions. I'm hitting my hand against the desk if you can't hear. All right, so we finished our fighter research, and next I think we're going to go with researching the mobile warfare tactic, considering the whole rant I just went on. So research that, and I don't care about trench warfare. Computer, please stop making horrible sounds. Okay, so I think that's where I'm going to leave it today. Sit rep for the end. We've got 2 armies, 22 divisions and 18 divisions, one based on reconnaissance or with a commander who has a reconnaissance benefit, and then the other has a armor mobility attribute. Borders haven't really changed that much. The Germans have reoccupied the Rhineland. The Spanish Civil War has broken out between the nationalist and Republican forces. Italy has annexed Ethiopia, or the Ethiopia region, and we are trying to align ourselves to powers to the east in order to become, not get absolutely wrecked by both of them. One interesting thing is when the Germans annexed parts of Czechoslovakia, the Polish actually kind of did that too. They used the opportunity to claim some regions of Czechoslovakia, which is rather ironic considering what the Germans and the Russians are going to do to them in a 3 years. Oh God, only 3 years. I have 3 years. But yeah, so I'm focusing on becoming friendly with forces to the east. So if anything breaks up, hopefully we will have them have their help, give them military access, all that fun stuff. Along with, but to a lesser extent, aligning ourselves with France and Britain and the other Western allies. But the next video, my main focus is going to be, well, 1, production and upgrades, but 2, I want to get some volunteer forces sent to fight for the Spanish Republicans. Great way to get some army experience, and it also fights against the icky nationalists of Franco. Scumbag. What's his first name again? Francisco Franco. Looks like a douchebag. But for now, that's episode 1 of this new Hearts of Iron series entitled, Oh God, I'm Poland.